Welcome to News Now Alberta. This is Special Ed. We are doing a bit different today. We are looking at the proposed changes to the Bill of Rights in Alberta. Personally, I think it's time we make changes because there were so many violations of rights under COVID that we need to protect ourselves. In Alberta, we also need a stronger stance on gun laws. If it was up to me, we would have open carry in this province, even if it's just to give Trudeau a heart attack. Most of Albertans are cowboys and should have the right to carry handguns.
The Bill of Rights has served us well, but it's been more than half a century since it was introduced. In an ever-evolving world, we must be vigilant to ensure the rights and freedoms of Albertans continue to be protected. And that's why today I'm announcing the proposed amendments that, if passed, would strengthen the Alberta Bill of Rights and ensure our province remains one of the freest societies in the world. No one should be pressured into accepting any medical treatment without their full consent, including a vaccine. If passed, this amendment would protect an individual's right to refuse medical care, medical treatment, or a medical procedure unless that person lacks the capacity to make a choice or is likely to cause harm to themselves or others. In addition, we're tabling amendments to further protect freedom of speech in our province. Albertans value freedom of speech, and it's something that's already enshrined in the Alberta Bill of Rights. But our proposed amendments would expand the scope of this right to include expressive activities beyond written and spoken language. Albertans are also people who work hard to earn a living, provide for their families, and enjoy the right to acquire property. We will strengthen those rights so no Albertan can be deprived of their property without legal authority and just compensation. For too long, the federal government has unfairly targeted law-abiding firearms owners who've done nothing more than exercise their legal rights. And we've seen an escalation from Ottawa in recent years. So we're pushing back and reinforcing your right to acquire, keep, and use firearms in accordance with the law. And we're sending a message to Ottawa that Albertans will not forfeit these rights.
With these proposed amendments, the Alberta Bill of Rights would apply to all government actions, programs, and policies, regardless of whether they specifically flow from a particular law. Expanding the Act to apply to all provincial action would protect Albertans from a larger scope of government activity and align the Alberta Bill of Rights with the way the Charter applies to government action. The Alberta Bill of Rights Amendment Act responds to concerns our government has heard from Albertans regarding their fundamental rights and freedoms. If passed, the Alberta Bill of Rights Amendment Act would strengthen the rights of Albertans and continue to serve Albertans well in an evolving society.
If passed, Bill 24 will add new rights for Albertans, such as protection of personal autonomy, including the right not to be given medical care or treatment or a vaccine without consent, the right to acquire, keep, and use firearms in accordance with the law, reinforcing our commitment of standing up for lawful firearms owners in Alberta, and affirming government intent that provincial laws should not interfere with the right to own legally acquired firearms and strengthen property rights. The new bill aims to bolster rights for property and gun owners, as well as broaden legislation to protect freedom of expression beyond speech and writing. It is also protect people with capacity from being compelled or coerced into receiving medical treatment or vaccines, but leaves it up to the courts to decide how the law is applied. The changes to the bill is a lot more than you might have heard on the news. Here is what it should look like. Key changes. If passed, the Alberta Bill of Rights Amendment Act 2024 will add the right of the individual with capacity not to be subjected to or coerced into receiving medical care, treatment, or procedure without consent unless that individual is likely to cause substantial harm to themselves or to others. Add the right of the individual with capacity not to be compelled or coerced into receiving a vaccine. Add the right to acquire, keep, and use firearms in accordance with the law. Add the right to freedom of expression, which includes expressive activities beyond written and spoken language. Expand property rights by requiring government to compensate individuals or businesses if they take ownership of their property, or if a law deprives the individual or business of all reasonable use of their property. Clarify that any limitations on rights in any other laws that are inconsistent with the Alberta Bill of Rights cannot be enforced unless the Parliamentary Supremacy Clause is invoked in legislation. Expand the Act to apply to all government actions, such as policies that are not formalized in a law or regulation rather than just legislation. Allow the court to impose remedies such as a stay or awarding damages when the Alberta Bill of Rights has been breached, except for awarding damages related to the passage of legislation. Confirm that fundamental freedom retains their importance during an emergency. Update requirements for the Minister of Justice to be notified when any legal action challenges a law under the Alberta Bill of Rights. Clarify that government may set reasonable limits on rights or create laws and regulations notwithstanding rights. This is a big change and well needed in my opinion. If you want a vaccine, then have one. If you don't want one, then don't get forced to get one by being threatened. What do you think of these changes? Let me know in the comments. Original video and related article will be in the description. I will follow up on this when it goes through the House to see what actually went through. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.